Hello everybody, this is Claudia. So I wanted to know if any of you have ever met someone that had a negative, insulting reaction to your Young Living oils. They hate your diffuser, maybe they gripe about how you smell, and they absolutely do not allow you to open a bottle of oil in their presence. Okay, so some of you may have gone through that with your spouse. So I know that for me personally, that was my experience with my husband. He was not a fan of the smell of oils. He hated my pan away. He hated my aroma seas, hated my diffuser, hated when bedtime would come and I would oil myself down to sleep. He was just verbal. Oh, I hate it. Can't stand it. Right? So with my husband, I would just have an honest talk with him. I'm like, listen, men are attracted to the most repulsive odors that exist. Don't you think it's kind of weird that a beautiful oil from the earth makes you crazy? So he's like, well, maybe I just can't. I said, let me just give you back rubs. And of course, my self-sacrificing husband that I have allowed me to do back rubs on him at night. So I would focus on his neck, I would focus on his shoulders, and he started seeing a difference in his sleep pattern and how he was feeling with his back issues, with his stomach issues. He started seeing a difference. But this is the thing. By the time he started seeing a difference, right, he wasn't reacting as strongly as to the smell of the oil, right? So there was someone else in my inner circle, same thing. She was obnoxiously rude. I felt she was ridiculous. But she was very insulting about the smell of the oils and what her personal opinion was. And what happened is I started paying attention, right? This was not a healthy person. This was a person who had a lot of health issues. And on top of that, she was attracted to smells that could knock me dead. Like, for example, we would go to Publix and they'd have this air freshener that was like peach cobbler, that was the most disgusting, cloying scent you can imagine. And this woman couldn't fill up her lungs enough with it. So in our oil class, when I teach an oil class, I teach how many toxic chemicals the average person carries. So for men, it's close to 200. And for most women, we carry over 300 toxic chemicals in our system, due to makeup, our foods, our creams, our beauty products, whatever. The list is from here to Timbuktu. If you have health issues, or you're a blue-collar worker, because my husband's a blue-collar worker. My husband is exposed to heaps of toxic chemicals at work every day. So when you have all this chemical crud in your body, and then here comes an essential oil stirs things up. And so for some people, the clash that they experience is not a comfortable one. And that's how come some people are like, ugh, I hate it. And a lot of times they loathe the very oil that their body desperately needs. It's just not a comfortable sensation because that oil's already pushing stuff around. Okay, so there's two extreme reactions that we get. I get, my husband, oh, I hate it. Or I get the person that's trying to eat the oil that is just as extreme, and it means the same thing. They both need it. So I'm not telling you to push an oil on somebody that loathes it, but I am telling you not to be afraid to educate, not to be afraid to say, hey, let me tell you a reason why you might loathe this oil. Or maybe when you get your premium kit, there might be an oil in that kit. I love lemon. I love copaiba. I hate lavender. Loathe it. Can't stand it. Well, what are some things? You purchase the kit, right? As long as you don't have an allergy. And I'm saying allergy because if somebody tells me they're allergic to an oil, there's no way I'm going to argue about it or debate about it or anything like that. Absolutely, I respect someone's boundary. But I mean, if you just hate it, that you can't explain it, you find it repulsive, the smell bothers you, try a drop or two on the bottom of your foot. Or try it in a diffuser and maybe add a drop of lemon or a drop of peppermint to it. And less is more until your body acclimates to what the oil is doing. Many a times, my husband's included, the oils that my husband found repulsive are now the oils that he asked for first. they're the ones that have helped him the most. They're the ones that have supported his immune system in incredible ways. And my husband is still the odd duck in our family in the sense that the girls and I will react to the same oils, usually the same way, but my husband walks alone. He needs oils that I'm like, really? Mark needs that kind of oil? Yep, he sure does. It's a different chemistry system. But just know, I wanted just to give you a heads up. If you have a spouse that is griping endlessly, try those back rubs. Try the feet rubs for those of you that can swing the foot rub. Once that oil starts getting in there just a little bit by little bit, your body will start getting used to it, and after a while your body will say, I need it. I need it. Give me more. So let me know if you guys can relate to what I'm talking about. If maybe you have other tips on how to share an oil with someone who is open to try. And if you've ever had a negative reaction, maybe to the oil Joy or geranium, maybe it came up on your skin and you got it because you wanted to feel relaxed, but you can't stand the smell. Remember that if you feel it's gross and disgusting, it's probably going to be the best oil for you. And you could try it at the bottom of your feet. I'm not telling you to suffer through the whole process. I'm just saying you'll change. You'll change. Joy wasn't my favorite oil, but now it's one of my favorite perfumes, and it's an oil I use every day. So let me hear from you. Let me know if you found this video helpful, and if the tips I gave you are something that you can use with you and your family. And we will chat soon.